day, everybody. We'll get to the indictments and the Bidens in the next block. But first.
So many stories too upsetting to look into. A bunch of news that just makes you wanna cry. Then suddenly everything gets less depressing. Could the change of season be the reason why? Some news helps you unwind. It's silly and it's stupid, but you don't mind.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. In the summer, the news gets slower than AOC playing Jeopardy. So let's talk about me. I just got my back waxed. Shout out to the Yankee Candle Company.
Hey.
Here's the before. I know. And here's the after. Not bad. Yeah. Thank you. Those are my sisters. But why did I do this? It's to make myself more attractive, if that's even possible. But I wonder, as I get better looking, what about everybody else? I believe it's time for...
Gutfeld Scientific Institute presents Are People Getting Uglier?
So is our imagination overactive, or are people becoming less attractive? It's something that I've noticed. Go anywhere and you see how fitness has become fatness. Meanwhile, people take perfectly good hair and dye it blue or purple. While others just let themselves go. But now science is proving me right. It's the theory presented by a fellow named Shafi Hassan, who apparently is a facial analyst. A facial analyst. Sounds like the most prized job at Pornhub. Actually, Mr. Hassan runs an Australian facial aesthetics consultancy firm that uses artificial intelligence to analyze people's faces. In response to a question about why old high school yearbooks contain so many attractive people compared to today, he writes, quote, "The average person's face is becoming increasingly disadvantaged by modern diets, sleeping patterns, pollutants, and oral facial habits, creating a greater inequality in the attractives versus the unattractives." So there you go, as predicted. Now even faces are disadvantaged. Maybe we can bust them onto more attractive people. But if we're all getting uglier, the Democrats would call that equity. Hassan breaks it down.
Have you ever looked at an old yearbook from the 1950s and wondered why teenagers or high schoolers look so much older than they do today? There are multiple theories for why this is the case, but the one that makes the most intuitive sense, at least to me, is presented in Contemporary Orthodontics by Prophet and colleagues using what's known as the functional matrix hypothesis.
What? Get to the point, weirdo. What is the functional matrix hypothesis in simple terms?
In simple terms, this theory states that the development of the face is dependent on the forces that you put on it for the upper and lower jaw, with 70% of the Western world having some kind of malocclusion or recession much like this. It's a very good explanation for why faces are becoming less and less attractive as time goes on, and much of it has to do with the modern lifestyle.
Interesting. So apparently we have less pronounced jaws than previous generations. Guess he's never watched the WNBA. But also, older generations put more force on their facial bones, probably from gritting their teeth, you know, and fighting wars and hunting wild animals or dating Nancy Pelosi. Now, I think he might be right. Just look at the average woman from the 50s. Talk about beauty. Now, what do we got? On the bright side, you could open a Bud Light on those jawlines. But let's look at the average women of today. No, that's not fair. You could apply this theory to men as well. Remember when men looked like this? Now we're stuck with this. Yep. There's so much estrogen in those dudes, just looking at them gave me menstrual cramps. Of course, some will tell you that people getting ghastlier is actually a good thing. If we want to control population growth, why not make ourselves unscrewable? Or maybe it's a ruse to keep us wearing masks forever. And the media says all bodies are beautiful, even when our eyes disagree. But there's been a rebellion against beauty, which is felt in art and culture, biology. Heck, think about how previous generations used to dress in public. To go to a sporting event or take a flight, men and women would get dressed up, a full suit or a dress. Now it's all yoga pants, sandals, and hairy toes. These days, entire ad campaigns are built around models you wouldn't look at twice in a Walmart. Not that I've ever been in a Walmart. Well, once to buy a shovel, a bag of lye, and a bone saw at 3 in the morning. But that's a conversation for later. But now we're told that our innate disposition to find certain people more attractive than others is actually a form of bigotry called lookism. Even though it's normal to be attracted to people who don't look sick or tired, puffy, and obese, or all of the above. It's now discrimination to find some people hotter than others, or maybe, just maybe, people looked better years ago because they took pride in their appearance. They had demanding jobs instead of staring at tiny screens all day. They didn't gorge themselves on crap and then blame fat shaming, and they didn't waddle around in Crocs and pajamas like they were inmates at a mental ward. It feels as if we as a society have given up. Look at the cities and entertainment and travel. Hell, we don't even expect our models on the cover of swimsuit rags to be in shape, much less thin. And when we're forced to accept it as appealing, it just doesn't ring true. So this isn't about ugliness, it's about a denial of truth. As Keats said, beauty is truth and truth is beauty. Beauty, or an aspiration for it, somehow always leads you to a truth about life. Like Shakira said, the hips don't lie. Especially when they're in 2 different area codes. Let's welcome tonight's guest! When he's at a comedy club, they make sure all exits are clearly marked. Host of Fox Across America, Jimmy Fallon. Liberals run for safe haven when they see this political maven. Former Deputy National Security Advisor, KT McFarland. Her fiery rants make snowflakes wet their pants. Fox contributor, news contributor, Cat Tube. And he's never had to rent a forklift. My massive sidekick in the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Tyrus. So first off, Jimmy, what waterbed did you steal that sheet from?
Nice to see you too. Can I give you some insight into why I do this, just really quick?
Not really.
Okay, but this is the deal, okay? Yes, I dress like an affordable male stripper. Would we not all agree?
Right.
Because it's 2023, you never know when you're gonna get canceled in this day and age, so you have to have a side hustle lined up.
Yeah.
Like if you get canceled, you can make money at dwarf tossing events the minute this is over. You show up, they throw you, you make 10 grand. I don't have that option, so I gotta go with my tragic Mike look. But nice to see you too.
Now, let me ask you, do you feel like you've been discriminated against because of your looks?
No, not at all. No, not at all. Because there's a thing, okay? First of all, when it comes to attractiveness, people aren't attracted to looks. They're attracted to energy. Okay, everyone has left a 10 behind at the bar to go home with a 6 who had something about him.
Yeah.
I only know because I was the 5.5 masquerading as the 6. You know what I'm saying? But
I thought you were going to say you were the 5.5 masturbating.
Well, it's depending on how the went home went. I mean, maybe on the front end. But he's right to say attraction has changed. I know, sorry about that. He is right to say attraction has changed. Like I'm 45 for real.
Yeah.
My 6th grade girlfriend still looks young. I mean, it may change when she gets to 7th. You know what I mean? But the point is, this is why people have gotten worse looking. It's all because of Instagram. Because there are so many filters now. Everybody thinks they're better looking than they are because we're manipulating photos. Instagram should be called, this is what I would look like if I was hot. That should be it.
I think that's what we call alcohol.
Boom. Boom.
KT, do you believe that we as a society have given up? I feel like if you look at everything, no one cares anymore. I mean, I see people littering now. I thought littering was so 1970s.
You know, I'm married to a man who wears a bow tie and a cotton iron shirt.
To bed.
Yeah, well, the tie does get a little messed up.
Oh, yeah.
I do believe in standards.
But where does he wear that? He wears that to dinner or
He's gonna
golf?
Up
clean
in the
it up now.
morning, puts it on, goes to play a little tennis, then goes to the desk, fiddles with the tie. All good.
Yeah, wow. So what are you trying to say?
After 40 years of marriage, I'm kind of used to it. And so I'd be very upset if he looked like the guy with the, shower sandals, flip-flopping around the house.
But do you think
But
people,
he's 80, so I mean, I guess that's something I'm
are people
forward
less
to.
attractive now than when you were
People make less of an effort.
Yes.
It's more about their own personal comfort and less about the impression they give to others. As a woman who came of age when women should be attractive but not too attractive, they should be hardworking but not too hardworking. It was a very different era. Now, who cares, right?
Yeah. And that's a problem, Kat. Can't we go back to the good old days? Huh? I won't say that to Tyrus.
You know what he did? He just told on himself. 'Cause the good old days could have been like when everyone sung songs and had candy. Apparently with him, it was when slavery was fashionable. So, just know that. Kat, I defer to you.
No, that's great. No, I love looking really bad at the airport. I don't want to go back to the whatever days of having a. Look, I not only wear sweats and don't put makeup on and don't do my hair, but I also never take off my neck pillow.
Yeah.
And I posted a reel of myself at the airport on Instagram, and people were commenting like a bunch of, calling me like ugly. Actually, what they were saying was I was brave for posting that, which is like the meanest thing you can say, because it's like just my face. But I think I don't care that much. You can't really hurt me by commenting on my appearance. I don't care because it's gonna be changing all the time as the years go on. And I feel like if you look good, that's great, but if you look bad, that's funny. And that's something that's even better. Plus, you go somewhere like LA and everyone's so obsessed with looking perfect. Like everyone has the exact same boob job, the exact same nose, the exact same veneers. Sometimes, the girl with the A cups and the overbite actually stands out in that situation.
There you go. It's weird though, okay, so I'm a little older than you, Tyrus. I don't know how much, but remember Farrah Fawcett, Cheryl Ladd, Jacqueline Smith? When we were growing up, we wanted them. Do kids still have that thing for like aspirational hot beauty, or is it all just now Instagram models and?
See, this report is very misleading because they're taking out the X factor. Because we've always had bottom of the barrel in the food chain. There's been ugly people generational. Like in all eras, there's been a group of people that were just ugly, and they avoided pictures just for the sake of everyone. They were polite about it. The problem is now all the ugly people had the cameras. So it's switched. It's like the Dr. Seuss. All the stars don't want to take pictures now. Good-looking people don't want to take pictures now because they're not doing the shading and they're not doing that stuff. They don't have to do it. Like what Kat says, they just are who they are at the airport. And the ugly people are the ones saying you're ugly. They're because you don't have to put on 45 pounds of makeup, 4 hairs, and a small child to go somewhere to look better under their guys. The problem is just normal, good-looking people who are too busy working and doing their thing to take. I've watched this go down. I've been at the Beverly Hills Hotel at the pool. People who don't even have a room there taking 9,000 pictures for one shot. And then when you see the picture, you go, I don't know, man, you're still ugly. There's filters. That's what it is. Good-looking people don't take pictures anymore. It's all the ugly people.
Interesting. I never heard of that theory.
No, that's a really proliferation of.
When's the last time, Gutfeld, you went on? So you know what? I need a picture of myself today doing something.
He just complimented me.
Because you'll buy it if I say it to you.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
No, I don't take pictures of me ever.
Thank you.
Yeah, except a few times at the club.
Well, we were buddies for a second. Now the good old days thing sucks again.
I just think attractiveness does require diligence and discipline. And those are two
You want to find out if you're attractive or not? Take a Polaroid.
Yeah.
No filter. Shake
you
it.
wanna know, seriously?
Shake it and see what you see.
If you want to know whether or not you're attractive, ask someone to set you up on a blind date. Because what they're saying to you is, this is what you look like.
Not necessarily. I don't know. I feel like men don't care how attractive you are or not.
Yeah, we really
But
don't.
also,
Oh, no.
the men will do anything.
So do you?
And then, yeah.
Or do you dress for other women, or about feeling good yourself, or?
Well, it depends. Like right now, I'm in my Fox News costume.
Yeah.
And
So.
in the airport, I have a neck pillow on.
Right.
Well,
There's nowhere else to put a neck polo. You kind of have to wear it. They don't
I
really
see
fit.
the girls on the street wearing like the stilettos on the subway. I'm like, you don't have to do that.
Right.
yeah, it's hard to run. Trust me.
Yeah, in New York.
You know, so we got the big news up next, of course.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.